we'll be discussing about sexuality in organisms. An important part which can be included under gametogenesis. Okay. Now, first we'll be discussing about sexuality in the plants that are found in our surrounding. So, talking about plants, they can be divided into two types depending upon in which condition the flowers are present. For example, if a particular plant is having both male and female reproductive organs within a same flower, that flower is called as bisexual. A flower having both female and male reproductive parts within the same flower will be called as the bisexual flower. Another term that can be used for it is homothallic or monoecious. Okay, let me draw the diagram. See, a plant with flowers. And what kind of flowers? Flower which has both male as well as female reproductive system within the same flower will be called as bisexual, homothallic or monoecious. See, this is a single plant having flowers and a single flower is having the female as well as the male reproductive system. Against that, those plants in which the male and female flowers are different, those plants are called as unisexual plants. Another term that can be used is heterothallic or dioecious. That means, in this case, the male flower and the female flower will be separate. There will be certain plants which will have only the male flower, and there will be certain plants which will have only the female flower. So now, if a plant is having only male flower, those plants are called, that flower is called as staminode. A flower with only the male reproductive organs can be called as staminode, and a flower with only female reproductive organs will be called as a pistillate flower. Okay, male flower can be called as staminode, female flower can be called as pistillate. So in this case, there will be two separate plants. A plant with only the male reproductive organs, that is the anther and the filament, and here it will have only the female reproductive system, that is the stigma, style and the ovary. So when I'm talking about the plants, as you can see the diagram, this is a plant with only male flowers. Here there is a plant with only female flowers, right? Now female flower will be called as pistillate, not the plant. When you talk about flowers or the flowering condition, again now depending upon these, there can be different types of situations. For example, in case of flowering, a flower can be unisexual. That means it is either going to have male or female flower, but the plant will be monoecious. That is, it will be bisexual. Do you understand this? What I mean to say is, there will be a plant with both male and female flowers, but those male and female flowers will be separate. One will be with male reproductive organ and another one will be with the female reproductive organ. So can you understand the difference here? Monoecious is a condition wherein the both male and female reproductive organs are present in the same flower. But this can, in case of flowering, it can happen that the same plant will have both the flowers, also the male as well as the female. In case of flowering, for dioecious plants, what can be the conditions? Flower, of course, they will be unisexual, as well as the plant, parent plant on which the flowers lie, those also will be unisexual, or you can say they will be dioecious. That means separate plants with with one plant having only male flowers and a plant having only female flowers. Here there is a condition wherein a single plant is having both female and male flowers separately. Now, these kind of condition can be found in algae like Cara, and unisexual or dioecious plants. Example can be angiosperms, or there can also be mercantia, wherein the male and female flowers are separate on separate plants. Here the male and female flowers, they are present on the same plant. Here they are present on different plants. Now, since we are talking about sexuality, this is all about sexuality in case of plants. But what about sexuality in animals? We will also find that there are many animals which have both male and female reproductive system within the same body. So those organisms, they are called as hermaphrodites. That means, in simple terms, they are bisexual. They have both male and female reproductive systems. Example of organisms which come under these will be leech, sponge. Leech is a type of an annelid. Sponge is a type of an poriferan, right? Etc. Earthworm, again, which is a type of an annelid, can come under these categories. Whereas there are certain organisms which are unisexual, that means male and female will be separate. Example of these organisms will include cockroach, can even consider a higher level of mammals like humans, and many other from the higher level of organisms. Okay, finished talking about what is sexuality in organisms, we need to now understand that how these gametes are going to be formed. Now, what is the way in which the gametes will be formed? Simply, the gametes will always be formed by the process of cell division. Now, I also told earlier that cell division is of course going to help in these process, but then what kind of cell division will help in these process? So let us now try and understand that. So our next point is cell division during gamete formation. Now, of course, for any cell to divide or new cell to form, the simple mechanism will be cell division. But here we need to understand that what kind of cell division is going to take place. Now, what happens here is, I earlier also told you that gametes, they are always haploid. That means they are only going to have one set of chromosome. Agreed? Fine. The parents which are involved in the formation of gamete can be either haploid or diploid. Haploid means they will have only one set of chromosome. Diploid means they will have two sets of chromosomes. Now here lies the difference in what way the new cells will be formed. For example, if a parent body is haploid and having only one set of chromosome, the gametes which are to be formed from these haploid body should also be haploid, because it is already fixed that gametes are haploid. So, when the number of chromosomes is to be maintained same in the parent cell and the offspring, the type of cell division that takes place is mitosis. And in case if the plant body is diploid, then of course here also the gametes will be always haploid, right? So when the parent body is diploid and the gamete to be formed should be haploid, then here the type of cell division that will be taking place is meiosis. Okay, so this is the ploidy of the parent. They can be either haploid or diploid. If the parent is haploid and the gamete is to be formed from it, the type of cell division that will take place is mitosis. And if the parent body is diploid, meiosis will take place for the formation of gametes, again with only one set of chromosome. You have already studied in 11th standard that mitosis is known as equational division and meiosis is known as the reductional division. So this is going to reduce the number to half, whereas this is going to maintain the same number of chromosomes. So now let us see what are the examples of different organisms with diploid body. Diploid body organisms will include your pteridophytes from plant kingdom. Then there will be gymnosperms. Of course, the higher level of plants, angiosperms. And most animals, except for some lower levels, most of the animals will always have diploid body. Example of organisms which have a haploid body will include bryophytes, Monera, that is the bacteria kingdom, fungi, and algae. So if you see your haploid body is generally found in the lower level of organisms like Monera, fungi, and algae. Only one of the class will be included, that is bryophytes, which comes under the plant kingdom. Otherwise, all these belong to the separate kingdoms. Okay. Now, when you talk about these diploid bodied organisms, the cells which are involved in formation of the gametes, those cells are called as myocytes. And since these are the cells involved in formation of gamete, of course they will be diploid. You can say that these are the mother cells. Mother cells as in the cells which are responsible for formation of the gametes. So these cells, they are called as myocytes, and by simple meiotic division, they will divide to form the gamete which is haploid. Okay, so the type of division is always going to depend upon the ploidy or the number of chromosomes set that is present in the parent body.